We will now have our nonpartisan candidates for Benton School Board, Position 6.
Welcome, candidates, Mr. Darren Adams and Mr. Chris Ledbetter. The opening statement will be first from Mr. Adams. You have 1 minute.
Hi there. I appreciate you guys having me up here. My name's Darren Adams, 1992 graduate, born and raised in Benton. Moved back in February, took on a new job here. Felt like it was a great opportunity for me to give back to the community that helped raise me, and what better chance is to give that opportunity to with the school board. Passionate about the students, have a strong passion for that. I taught school at Jonesboro High School for 2 years, and so that's why one of the main reasons why I'm coming back to be a part of the school board. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. Mr. Ledbetter, you may now present your opening statement.
Hello, and thank you everyone for having me here. Honored to be here. My name is Chris Ledbetter. I'm a lifelong Saline County resident, born and raised in Bauxite, and have made my home in Benton for the past 5 to 6 years. Married with a 3-year-old daughter and have a son on the way that's due in about 5 weeks. And so what has motivated me to run for the Benton School Board is a forward-thinking mentality that I will have 2 children in the school system in the not too distant future, and I want to be intentional with where I invest my time and how that time can benefit my family, but also the community. So that is the motivation that has led me to run for the Benton School Board. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Ledbetter, you have the first question. Last year, the Benton School District contracted with a company for food services. This move has been met with diverse measures of success. Some students feel that the services have improved. Others believe the opposite. What is your opinion on outsourcing food services and/or custodial services?
I think what it all boils down to is what will have the greatest impact on the students and their lives, and obviously as a young person, I think it begins and ends with their stomachs, and so I can appreciate that question very, very greatly. That they will have their opinion on the food and that they're eating, and want to make sure that they're receiving adequate meals. So I think that it's a good thing that the food service was outsourced. I've actually heard about the process that was gone through, and obviously there's going to be opinions for and opinions against it. But in my opinion, I think that outsourcing the food service as well as custodial services, as long as it saves the district money while also maintaining quality, is a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ledbetter. Mr. Adams. Last year, the Benton School District contracted with a company for food services. This move has been met with diverse measures of success. Some students feel that the food is improved. Others believe the opposite. What is your opinion on outsourcing food services and/or custodial services?
Outsourcing food service, I work for a food service company, so I'm a little bit familiar with this process. It can be a great thing. The most important thing is what the impact it has on the kids. We've got a lot of kids out there that don't get a full meal at home, so this is their first choice of food to eat. So as far as a school district, we want to make sure that we're bringing on quality food and options. I think that's been one of the things that I've seen come back from. As far as custodial service, it's the quality that we want. We want it clean. We want the proper stuff taken care of. But most importantly, how this affects the kids, it gives them choices, and it also gives them the opportunity to have something to eat, where in certain cases I've heard and I've seen there's a lot of kids that just don't have the opportunity to have food provided to them at home. So let's bring it to them at the school. Thank you.
Mr. Adams, you will also have the second question. Last year, Governor Hutchinson began the reading initiative called RISE to help close the literacy gap for students. What will you do to help our schools have the resources they need to teach all the children to read?
That's a great question. It's a great statement, actually, too. Being in the business sector, a lot of companies in the past that I've worked for in manufacturing, the first thing that they're going to do is they're looking at communities from the school systems, from a reading standpoint, the literacy standpoint. So that's something that I want to make sure that our budgets, that our teachers are equipped with the right tools that they can get these kids up to date on their reading capacity, because it brings in these outside manufacturing plants to look at the levels and where we at. And it seems like from the Benton standpoint, we're doing a pretty good job of it. So that's what I would probably do the most. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ledbetter. Or Mr. Adams. Mr. Ledbetter, last year, Governor Hutchinson began the reading initiative called RISE to help close the illiteracy gap for students. What will you do to help our schools have the resources they need to teach all of the children?
So I think that what the Benton School District has already established, that they have a solid foundation with their literacy and literacy rates among all students. And so being able to maintain and improve upon that foundation would be essential through, budgeting and also connecting to outside resources outside the school. For example, one of the clients that I've worked with in the past in my career as a mortgage lender was a woman who in the community, she is a reading teacher. She's a former teacher, and she wants to continue providing educational resources to the community. And so I think using the school as a facilitator for making connections to outside resources will help to improve upon the foundation that's already been laid in the school system in terms of literacy.
All right, Mr. Ledbetter, you now have the closing statement. You have 1 minute.
So again, just want to thank you for welcoming me and my opponent to this forum. And it is an honor and a privilege to be here. Again, I just want to be very intentional with where I invest my time in making sure that I am giving back to the community that has given me so much. And so that's exactly what I intend to do with my time and the resources that I have available to me, is to attain this position with the Benton School Board and give back as much as I can through service to this community, which means so much to me. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ledbetter. Mr. Adams, you now have your closing statement. You have 1 minute.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. It's an honor to be here. Obviously, I'm standing in the school that helped raise me, where I graduated from, so it's an honor to see the growth, and I want to be a part of it. That's the reason why I threw my hat in for this. I don't have kids that are going to be in the school system, but I've got a lot of friends, I've got a lot of family that I take pride in, that they're my kids. And that's the way I view all of your kids will be my kids, and I'll be their advocate. As far as working with the teachers, I look forward to that. I've got the teacher background, so that kind of got the soft heart for it. But it's my community that I was born and raised in. I've grown up in. I've got family here, friends, lifelong friends, that this is where I want to spend my time as far as giving back to the community that helped raise me. So what better way is to work on with the school systems to do that. I appreciate you guys giving us the chance to be able to have this forum tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates.